Okay, you guys, so I'm going to teach you how to do vital signs: TPR, BP, pain, and O2 saturations. T stands for temperature, P stands for pulse, respirations is R, and BP is blood pressure. So first and foremost, you will need a thermometer, a stethoscope, and a blood pressure cuff. Ding, 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 ding. So the best place to take the temperature will be your temporal artery, simply because it shares the same blood supply as the hypothalamus, and the hypothalamus is what controls your temperature. Things you might want to ask your patient before taking the temperature is if they've been drinking coffee. You want to assess the environment, make sure it's not too cold, too hot. There are many areas to take the temperature, but the best place would be the tympanic area or the temporal artery. All right. I'm gonna turn it on. Okay.
It goes back. You go back behind your ear now.
Mhm. But you can take a temporal artery right here until it beep beep, and then you look at it. You can do oral, but it's contraindicated in children and people that are unconscious. Auxiliary, rectal, and yeah. There are many areas to assess a pulse, but the main areas would be the apical and the radial. The apical pulse is your heart on the left mid-clavicular 5th intercostal space, and you want to measure that for a full minute. And if you ever just needed to check a pulse really quickly, you might want to go for the carotid artery. And you also want to note if the pulse is weak or bounding like crazy, like jumping out of its skin. You want to check for like if it's going too fast, if it's going too slow, which is tachycardia or bradycardia. Okay, so when dealing with respirations, you want to check it while you're checking the pulse, so that your patient doesn't know that you are taking their respirations. What you looking at? So you want to watch for the rise and the fall, the steadiness. If they're having difficulty breathing, like if they're holding their breath, or like you see the muscles, like I can't do it, but if you just want to watch how they're breathing and record everything that you see. Okay, so when doing blood pressure, this is a whole nother ballpark, but when doing blood pressure, you want to make sure that their legs are not crossed. You want to make sure the blood pressure cuff is snug and tight, not too tight but not too loose either. You want to be able to put 2 fingers underneath. That's it? Okay. Occluding the artery. So you're going to put the blood pressure cuff on and you're going to pump it up until you can no longer feel the pulse. Once you have reached the occluding point, you're going to remember the number and release the blood pressure cuff. Okay, once you determine the occluding point, you are now ready to take the blood pressure. You're going to make sure your stethoscope is right so you can hear. The ears need to be facing forward. You're going to put the bell on the artery and you're going to pump up your blood pressure cuff 30 millimeters per mercury past the occluding point. Okay. You're then going to release the pressure at 2 millimeters per mercury per second and listen for the first quarter cough sound. You're also going to listen for the last quarter cough sound. Okay.
You did right.
Yeah, I got 142 over 92.
You want to ask questions before you take the blood pressure, such as, have you been currently smoking? Have you been exercising? Are you stressed? Certain conditions can cause a person's blood pressure to go high or low. You want to ask if they're in.
I smoked that cigarette too.
Yeah, and that's what we That, my friends, is how you take vital signs. Well, TPR BP